Good morning. I'm live in Costa Mesa, California, and this is your Namaste today. Good morning and Namaste, and welcome to Namaste Today in the Zodiac weather. My name is Stepº20 Witecki. I call myself the Sensei to Sirius Troy. I'm here to stand in my heart each day and walk in the light. Thank you so much for showing up and watching again today. It's such a pleasure to light walk with you. I'm lovecasting live from my home studio in Costa Mesa, California on this beautiful Temple of Gaia on Wednesday, May 20th, 2015. And today will be a tested day, my friend, because step 29 rules the day. Now, step 29 is an explosive combination of consciousness coming together, and that's really what these steps come down to. They lay out the consciousness that is getting maybe, let's say, priority in our spiritual network inside of us. So today, the priorities are our emotions, 2, and our ego, 9. And these two together can be explosive. You know, I don't have to go down any further than that, right? You know yourself. So today you will be tested on your intentions. We're at step 29, Taurus. And I have to say that the final step of any transit, whether it's an I think Gemini, which is the next one, or I feel Cancer, which is the transit after that, step 29 is always the step where you want to give up, you think you maybe should turn back, you second guess doing this in the first place. It's all those things, right? When you're running the race and your side starts to cramp and you're just like, oh, you know what I mean? So today's that day. But I'm going to help you, Sensei, through the day. I'm going to tell you what to tell yourself, and we're going to look at the architecture of today's incarnation. But before we do, let's first prepare and tame our brain with the phrase of the day. I feel my passion today, and I direct it higher. I feel my passion, and I direct it higher. All right? So this is reminds me of a Seinfeld episode where the father-in-law was saying, serenity now. Serenity now is really funny. I don't remember that. But it's kind of that. It's like when you want to give up today, it's like I feel my passion, and I'm taking it higher. You know? My passion may be my pain at this moment. My passion may be my anguish, my passion, maybe my anger that I'm here in the first place, that I have to deal with this in the first place. These are all things, by the way, I think are coming up in my actual life, so you know. But like you take that passion for what that is and you take it higher. You direct it higher in each moment. Now this, you don't have to always take it higher. Let me just tell you right now, because we're dealing with the ego, all right? The dumbass, as I call it. When we take it higher, it's not that you won't win the day. It's not that you won't show them one day. It's not that you won't make it. It's that in this particular moment, we're going to take it higher. That's the only way out of this emotional moment. And see, the thing is, with the day being so passionate and so ego-aggressive, you can chase your tail all day and not take advantage of today's energies. So, it is up to our mind, retrograde or not, to do it and watch over ourselves today. So, one more time to keep it in the mind. I feel my passion today, and I direct it higher. And so it is, because I said so, I thought so. Now, the ruling step of the day is step 29. And, by the way, I practice step astrology. Step 29 adds up to an 11. Now, because 11 is one of our primary states or primary steps, 11 is I become, you technically stop at the 11, according to my little rules here. Now, anytime a person is an 11, they live in the 2, which is the emotion on top of that, so you would add it one more time if you're an 11 personality. And if you know Virgos, they live in their emotion despite that 11, right? But today, 11 is, I think, what's key. It's what we want to look at is the 11, because the 11 is the integrity that we want to stay in all day long. So step 11 is I become. I become is Virgo or Chiron. So at step 11, we always see our shadow come out, our Chiron shadow. At step 29, we are tested at our limits in any transit. We always see our Chiron shadow come out, all right? So whenever we engage the 11, which is a test of our integrity, integrity, according to step astrology, comes down to Chiron, and that comes down to your past life wounds, and that comes down to overcoming your past life wounds, right? So today is always about not just what you're trying to endure today, but but it's that cliff of like, will the hero make it this lifetime? You know, like that is a voice that's going on today. It's like, take it higher, take it higher. So looking at the architecture of incarnation, I actually want to look at the 9s, not the 11s, because 9 is when our ego comes out to play, and 9 can make or break a situation. 9 in the first dimension is just the ego waking up. It's the poppycock, if you will, pardon the expression, but it's just purebred 9. Take it or leave it, Mars, purebred. At step 19, this is where we've already dedicated ourselves to some sort of task, and now we've got to put it in the 5th gear. So I look at step 19 as 5th gear. It's like, all right, let's do it, right? Step 29 is a different kind of 9. We're talking about different types of action here, and we're also talking about the 3 levels of Aries people. You have the poppycock Aries, you have the Aries that's like the soldier, let's do it, and you have this next Aries, the step 29 Aries kind of energy, and this higher Aries is the one that can endure. So this 9 is that you're feeling it, and you use that strength to be strong for yourself, and you feel it, and you stroke, and you feel it, and you stroke. So that's how I believe one stays in their integrity. Integrity in the 11 is take care of your 2, take care of your 9. So take care of your 2, take care of your 9, take care of your 2, take care of your 9. To me, that is the integrity. So let's look at how all this lights up in our chakras and colors of the day.
Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do.
Looking at the colors and the chakras of the day, it's kind of like you can see sort of how things spin up in us. And if you pay attention to your own energies, you'll kind of relate to the ruling chakras. It starts first of all with orange. Now orange is of course Taurus, it's I manifest, and the way I like an orange when it's kind of lit up and things are on the line is literally just that. If you know sun astrology, Taurus has Libra in the 6th house, and being a Taurus, we may look super stable on the outside, but we on the inside feel like we're walking a tightrope. Not just a tightrope, but one where we could fall super far, and with us all these people on our shoulders, this whole like Russian family acrobat thing that we decided to sponsor. You know what I mean? Like, oh God, we look stable, we look stubborn, but inside it kind of is that back and forth. So if you feel like you're walking on a tightrope and that's like deep in your gut, that's the orange chakra, that's that energy. So someone asked in the comments, what do you mean about breathing in? I'll give you a little more example. If you want to kind of fine-tune your chakras in a given day, what you do is you imagine white light coming in through your crown, kind of like this light on my head, and into the orange, and then the white light out through the front. And you do an inhale and then an exhale to the front. And you do that at least 3 times to the front and then 3 times to the back, right? White is pure. So when you bring white light to a chakra, you're given everything it needs. You got band-aids there, you got every color in case it needs any sort of calibration. That's the thinking behind it. And really, it's the symbolism in your mind of what you're saying if you want white light consciousness to purify your manifestation energy. And that's where chakras are important. Where else are you going to focus in your life on clearing out your manifestation energy? You know what I mean? Like, where else unless you think about your chakras? So this is a conscious, center of our consciousness. Now, next we open up to yellow. Now, yellow is, of course, our thoughts and emotions combined. But this is the part of us on the tightrope that has our stomach cramped, concerned about falling. So the cramping part of your stomach is you're trying to keep balance of the Russian acrobat family. That is the yellow, that cramp. Then today we also open up the red chakra, all right? The red chakra, of course, is our root chakra. And that's the part of us that is sweating the whole time, okay? That's the part of us that doesn't want to make a mistake and is, at the end of the day, trying to remain calm, but also full of adrenaline. So there's a lot of adrenaline when the root chakra opens. And here is the irony to all of it. Where do you stand in integrity with step 11? You stand in the heart, green, which is I become. So to ground all this energy, the fear of falling and dropping it all, the tight stomach and the emotions that don't want to flow, right? And the root, which is trying not to overreact, you live in the heart. You live in I become. How do you master the grandmaster step of every state of awareness? It adds up to 11. You live in the heart. Now, the heart is who you are becoming and who you have been. That's part of the 11 integrity. So today you live in the heart. And no matter how crazy things are, no matter what's dropping from the sky, if UFOs are landing and cats and dogs are living together like Ghostbusters, you just live in the heart, and that is your integrity. So let's look at the timing of all these things going on in the cosmic clock. And here we are with the cosmic clock. Well, the sun has progressed to step 29 today. This is the final hour of Taurus, and in this final hour, you may feel tested today. Tested is the I feel, the 2, plus the I am, the 9. So literally feeling tested on who we are, feeling tested on our ability to endure, to accomplish, to achieve. And I'll give you the good news, it only lasts for 1 day. So as your sensei, I have to officially say, go for it. Don't give up now. All right? Do not give up now on what you've worked on for the last 30 days. And I guess I should speak to Taurus's I manifest. So it's whatever you're trying to manifest anywhere in your life. This is a broad state of awareness that applies to our entire life. Now, part of the fault line that I've been talking about, that fault line you feel inside of you and walking on a tightrope, it really is astrological. The sun today is opposing Saturn. Saturn is at step 1, Sagittarius. The sun is our hearts, everything we love. So when we oppose Saturn, we feel everything we love under criticism, everything we love under judgment, everything we love under perhaps rejudgment. You know, it might not even be like a poor judgment thing. It's just that we're deciding the fate of our heart. We're deciding the fate of our lives. And when we feel that Saturn, we feel this need to decide and make some sort of a decision now. We never feel like we have enough time, Saturn, and we feel like time is against us, the sun opposing Saturn. So you may feel like all these things right now. I would say it is typical in a Saturn opposing sun transit, but as your sensei, I will say it sucks. You know what I mean? Like, it totally sucks. It sucks for me, it sucks for you, it sucks for everybody, just so you know. Now, Saturn at 1 degree means that we are standing up for what our heart needs. So, you know, when you feel in this opposition of all these things, get to the heart of the matter. Even at this step 29 opposition today, the sun is at step 29. Tomorrow's at 0. Technically, the sun doesn't go to full opposition until it hits step 1 Gemini. So the opposition of this time and not knowing what to decide and maybe feeling judgment, all these Saturn symptoms, if you will, this will go on for 3 to 5 days, and we're just now hitting the apex of it as we move to the next 2 days. Today feels like a challenge anyways, okay? I'm adding the Saturn in so you can kind of let off some of it, and really, you just want to get to the heart of the matter. The more you stand up for your heart, the more that judging part of you instead is strong to be strong, like a strong parent for the heart. You know, you take that judgment part of you and you make it strong for your own heart. You turn that judgment parent into a strong parent inside of you. Just keep doing that over and over as you cross this rite of passage, this bridge. Now, Mercury is retrograde at step 13 nonetheless. That means it's time to think differently. 13 adds to a 4. Our mind has been thinking on the wrong floor, and it belongs on another floor. Now, tomorrow Mercury will retrograde back to 12, which might be the exploration of what floor that should be, or it might be the exploration of the first floor it could be. You know what I mean? Like, well, maybe the answer's over here. That might be tomorrow, or it might be like, timeout, we need an answer. That might be tomorrow too. Today it's like, this ain't working. You know what I mean? I think that's what it is. Now there's a whole party going on in Gemini. Mars is at step 6 Gemini. Now step 6 is, let's just keep it moving. Let's just keep it moving, folks. That's what step 6 is. So Mars, our ego, wants to keep it moving, which means that our ego might get a little panicky when things stop moving, all right? Now, when things are at peace, that is also a cool thing, so you have to kind of calm yourself a little extra when that happens. But I think a lot of everything's turmoil today is all by the moon. The moon enters Cancer today at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. That's only 9 a.m. Pacific. And the moon entering Cancer means the moon enters into the game of the Pluto yod, right? Now, Venus has been anchoring the yod. This yod is, of course, the change of our fate, the change of our destiny. And so our emotions now will weigh in on where these decisions ought to be and what decisions we make that will change our decision-making at large. So emotions are weighing in to this big yod conversation. And I'll remind you, just to keep going over and over it, it comes down to a new decision, an overall decision that affects policy and a decision that affects our future policy, maybe a very strong decision that affects very strong reality right now because it's Pluto in Capricorn, which is strong reality. Going into that decision, on the one hand, you have Jupiter. Now, Jupiter's at step 15, which means Jupiter is seeking peace for the heart. It will find peace for the heart, by the way, because Jupiter moves to 16 and does not retrograde. So this is the universe pushing for a solution in this Yod decision. And on the other side, Mercury, which is at step 13, retrograde right now. It'll move to step 12. It's going to move out of the Yod, back into the Yod, okay? So right now, Mercury is all part of this. Mercury represents our mind at the moment, which is changing degrees and directions right now all the time. It's okay. Just let the mind do its scan and let it do it. Now, Venus is what anchors this Yod. Venus today is at step 13 also. So really, it's that Venus, our ability to receive, right, and our mind, 13, both Venus and our mind are ready to open up to whatever works. And so it looks like the moon in Cancer is what tells us what works, our feelings. We have to get in that hot tub and go, I don't like it, like the little bears. This is too hot. This is too cold, you know, and you have to put yourself through these little pool of experiences to know what's just right. So the Earth is worth mentioning as well. Earth is at step 29. Step 29, Scorpio. That means our personal boundaries are also being tested to a particular degree. It also means that when it comes to us manifesting our boundaries, because Earth is what we're manifesting now, we're manifesting the very, 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 very shades of gray boundaries. So you might be yourself negotiating a deal legally and like looking at the very tiny shades of gray. You might be looking at the shades of gray at choosing something or choosing a solution. So that will be part of today as well. And the Earth is conjuncting Saturn. So Earth is on Saturn when the Sun opposes Saturn. Part of the heaviness of the decision is Earth is on Saturn. So Earth is about to move into Sagittarius. We'll talk more about that tomorrow. But today we're sort of feeling that wrath. Then moving on to the Tower of Truth today, the Taurus Tower of Truth. You can see the Sun at step 29. So it's teetering on the edge of Gemini. We'll cover that tomorrow. Again, my advice as Sensei is keep going. Don't give up, right? Just keep swimming, right? Now moving to Gemini, we are upon a mega mind opener here that's going to come up. That mind opener will be, of course, when Mars and Mercury meet. I'll be reporting on that. So our ego and our mind are going to come together, and that's when we're going to feel the first eureka, the first solution. Today, though, Mars is at step 6, which is just opening up trade, which is nice. Mercury at 13. So that means our mind is opening up to new solution, and our ego just wants to get things going, period. The step differential is 6, so basically, is 7. So what that means is you want to go with your intuition to bring your mind and ego together. Like let your 7, your sense, bring your mind and ego together. All right, so let me give you a simpler phrase than any of that and boil today down to today's Joy Quest. Your Joy Quest, should you choose to accept it, is: the forces of change have begun, my friend, so I recommend let it ride. Just let it ride. If you're gambling, there comes a point when you just let it ride. Let it ride on the table. Let's see what happens, right? That's where we're at right now, no matter where you are. Even if you know it's not going to be what you necessarily want or intended, at this stage, I say let your given plans ride out and land in the next destination before you try to correct any kind of trajectory at this stage. Let it ride out at this stage, okay? It will scoot to a stop, you know what I mean? And everything will be okay. So today, just let it ride. Now, if you're watching over my personal Sensei network, I'm going to help you with a couple of things that will bring clarity to your day. One, based on your own I Become Chiron in your natal chart, what is your default way of being? So everyone has this way of being, the way to stand in their integrity. I'm going to spell out what integrity is according to your natal chart. Then at 3:03 p.m., I'm going to help you with Chiron Shadow, which is basically the dark side. Whenever we fail at being that, we have this other side of us that comes out, which is basically our past life failure energy. I'm going to talk about where your past life failure energy can come out so you can kind of recognize that shadow and make friends with it. If you'd like to make friends with everything inside of yourself, the Personal Sensei Network is perfect. You learn about yourself every day, and it's very affordable. Come on down to SiriusJoy.me for details on that. Now, for today's telepathy, this is our final day of Taurus in our telepathy talks and our telepathy tests. A lot of people are getting these right. I hope you've come down to the NamasteToday.club and thrown your gut on that topic. But for today, this is going to be a fun one to wrap it all up. These are Taurus random anomalies. Okay, so these are random anomalies to the Taurus race. In each case, I have to say complete random anomaly. Don't know, if you call them a Taurus, I would just say they were definitely unique and happen to be Tauruses. This isn't every sign that they have these kind of energies. Is this one of these random anomalies, however, I am sending to your brain right now for mine. Which one is it? Is it number 1, John Wilkes Booth, the man that shot Lincoln? Sorry, as a Taurus, I'm just like, what? No, I don't understand as a Taurus. I don't understand how you shot Lincoln, okay? Number 2, Dennis Rodman. Sorry, don't know. Dennis Rodman, you're a cool dude, but just I don't understand you at all as a Taurus, okay? Friends with Kim Jong-il, like, okay, that's weird. I don't understand you. Or number 3, William Shakespeare. Like, really? Like, I know we produce stuff, but holy shift, So which of these Taurus random anomalies am I thinking about? I'll have the answer right after this. Your date of birth holds all the secrets to your soul. You give us your date of birth, we'll tell you the secrets to love, the secrets to lust, and who the best person for you just might be. I have the answers. Check out Secrets of Birthdays at secretsofbirthdays.com. Welcome back to Namaste Today. So for the answer to today's telepathy, from my temple to yours, I'm sending one of these 3 Taurus anomalies to your brain. Which was it? Was it number 1, Taurus John Wilkes Booth? Number 2, Taurus Dennis Rodman, or number 3, Taurus William Shakespeare? And the answer is William Shakespeare, of course. Why? Well, for one, I didn't even know William Shakespeare existed, but it looks like, looking into history, that it's very likely that he indeed existed. In fact, they have the baptism record of William Shakespeare, which was April 26, 1564. Now, they believe he was born just days prior to the baptism on April 23rd, which would make him a step 3 Taurus, which would mean a Taurus that opens up people's minds. That is very impressive if that's the case. So, just very interesting. I thought I would share that. I'm proud to have Shakespeare on the Taurus team, if indeed it all pans out that he was a Taurus. And I'll tell you, with how much we work, I believe it. I believe he put out that much work. People are like, how could you do that much work? Oh no, if you had any idea how much work I've done. We work hard as Tauruses. So that is our final Taurus. So let's move on to the rock and roll gospel. And for the rock and roll gospels, I'm actually doing a Jupiter retrograde special. We are going a blast to the past to the last time Jupiter was direct in Leo. And this is so you can kind of take yourself there, all right? The year is the summer of 2003. And we are replaying hits that were playing probably too much at the time. Since today is a Stepº20 day, I thought this song would be quite appropriate to sing to yourself. It is Justin Timberlake, first of all, who's a Step 11 Aquarius. See, Step 11? See, Sensei giving you a little dose of 11 when you need it? I add this up. I really do try. I care about you. I really do. But here's the thing that may or may not care about you. The song is Cry Me a River. Right? So, when your ego complains or your mind complains, just, in your heart, just be like singing Cry Me a River. You know what I mean? Like, as you have to endure through that thing and just get through the day, just sing to yourself, Cry Me a River. It's kind of sassy, but I think it's good. And remember, this song was playing in 2003, the last time you had to stand up for your heart. But before you go off and cry yourself a river, let's take a look at the modes of each of your brothers and sisters today and your special soul vitamin. And today's special soul vitamin is sponsored by Saturn. We're talking about the tightrope in your life, which is the Sun versus Saturn opposition. I'll give you your opposition or your tightrope in the order of the 11 steps of Sirius joy, starting with the secret step, the Step 0 Scorpios. Step 0, cloudy with a chance of temper tantrums today, but you're on a tightrope between trust and money or personal values. Step 1, the Leos, cloudy chance of storms on the inside today. You're on a tightrope probably between social belonging and reputation and what your heart really wants. Step 2, the Cancers, cloudy but cool with the moon in their sign, but perhaps on a tightrope between inner faith versus actual reality or daily work life, by the way. Step 3, the Sagittarius is cloudy chance of anxiety today. You're on a tightrope between your mirage vows to yourself, and your ego claims. Step 4, the Aquarians, cloudy chance of anxiety today as well, on a tightrope between your own ability to love yourself and your social acceptance. Step 5, the Geminis, sunny and productive today, but perhaps on a tightrope between ego claims and strength and your own marriage vows to yourself. Step 6, the Librans. Sunny and professional today, actually, but perhaps on a tightrope between personal belief and your own thoughts or mind games. Step 7, the Pisces. Cloudy with a chance of moodiness today, but on a tightrope between home and emotional security versus your professional direction. Step 8, the Capricorns. Cloudy and sentimental today, but on a tightrope between reality and your inner faith. Step 9, the Arii. Cloudy, nesting, and resting today, but on a tightrope between your thinking direction and your own beliefs about life. Step 10, the last day for the birthday Tauruses. Happy birthday, Tauruses. One more year down. Cloudy with a chance of temper tantrums today for the Tauruses, on a tightrope between money and values and self-trust. And then finally, the Step 11s, the nature of integrity. Sunny and social today, probably out there helping people like they do in the Step 11s, but on a personal tightrope between career and your own emotional security. Moving on to Lightwalker Parade. Hey, if you're watching on YouTube, please be kind and do subscribe. I thank you ahead of time. And on Facebook, you can be our friend by going to soulgarden.me. It'll take you straight there. And if you like a reading with me or you'd like to interest in our personal sensei service, come on down to soulmart.me. You'll find more information there. And if you haven't checked them out, check out the Modern Mommies. These two ladies are talking about important topics right now. We're looking at Tesla batteries for the home, and we're looking at medical marijuana. This is from a mother perspective, by the way. We have a mother who showed up and shared some experience about THC oil. So it's actually a very great conversation. Today also, if you don't know, this show is sponsored by Strength and the letter D, if you haven't figured that out yet. So I have to say, as always, for one, I love you. For two, remember to let it ride. And remember the next 24 hours to have a blessed day and live, love, be.
This is just so ironic.